It's time to defend our title again. What's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 37 of this Minnesota Twins MLB The Show 20 Custom Franchise Series. And today, I'm opposite playing my Minnesota Twins MLB The Show 20 Custom Franchise Series. Yes, it is an MLB The Show 20 because you cannot port any franchises from MLB The Show 20 to any later versions of the game. And because of that reason, I have to continue this series. Because of that reason I just said, I have to continue this series here in MLB The Show 20, which I have no problem doing. As last episode of the series, it's kind of evident what I said, like right at the start of the video. It's kind of evident that we won the World Series last year in this game, which was 2021. Now it's 2022 in this game. That is. As you can see right there, it says March 24th, 2022, as it is open in the 2022, like it just said, and like it says in the title. Also, you can see right there, you can see we're ranked second in baseball, first in contact, second in power, eighth in pitching, second in defense, and first in speed. And like I said, we're ranked second overall in baseball. So, yeah, I'm not sure who's ranked first. It might be like the Yankees or the Dodgers, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. But, yeah, last season we won the World Series. The last 3 seasons we won the World Series. It's 2022 now in this game. We won the World Series in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Beat the Dodgers in 2019 in 7 games. And we won the World Series, like I said, in 7 games in walk-off fashion. 2020, we beat the Cincinnati Reds in 6 games in the 2020 World Series. We also won that World Series in walk-off fashion. And then 2021, we beat the Nationals. 2021, which was last season, we beat the Nationals in 6 games. We won the World Series at home at the Metrodome, but it was not in walk-off fashion. First World Series championship for the Twins that wasn't in walk-off fashion. Out of the 3 years, obviously. But we still won the World Series. That's all that matters. And then, obviously, GM contracts are only 3 years long. Obviously, my GM contract was up for renewal, and obviously in real life or in this video game, if you win 3 World Series in 3 years, there's no way you're gonna get fired or not get your contract renewed. So I got my contract renewed. I had a choice between like the Twins, the Cubs, the Indians, and some other team. But I was like, I'm obviously gonna stay with the Twins. Because one, we just three-peated, and I have custom players here in this franchise. Hence why I say custom franchise. But yeah, we're about to play the Royals in Kansas City here on opening day. They're ranked 12th in baseball. We're ranked 2nd. And the White Sox Tigers are ranked towards the bottom. Royals 12th, Indians 5th, A's are 4th, Astros 14th, Rangers 27th, Angels 15th, Mariners 21st. I'm guessing it's the Yankees who are ranked first in baseball. I'm guessing it was going to be the Yankees or the Dodgers. The Blue Jays, 29th, man, and they're 29th in pitching, man. They're at the bottom of the league and everything. They're ranked 29th, and they're at the bottom in defense, power, contact, and pitching. But speed, they're 4th, but that doesn't want to do anything. And then some good teams over in the NL East, NL Central. Cubs are ranked 3rd. Obviously in real life they're not ranked 3rd, I don't think, but in this game they are ranked 3rd. Dodgers ranked 6th, but they're 6th in pitching. Rockies 8th, Padres 7th, Diamondbacks 23rd, and then the worst team in baseball, at least ranked wise, is the San Francisco Giants. They're ranked 30th in baseball, which is dead last. Let's look at the schedule for the first time. As you can see, like I said, we're in Kansas City playing the Royals here on opening day. They do have Derek Cole. So we have Babe Ruth, which is a creative player, one of my custom players, hence why I say custom franchise, like I said. So it's Babe Ruth versus Derek Cole. That's 2 aces right there. Derek Cole is a really good pitcher. He's like a 95 overall, something like that. And then Babe Ruth, he's a good pitcher, and he's a 99 overall. Game's at 1:10 p.m. Central Time, or 1:10 p.m. local time, which is Central Time in Kansas City. Game's on MLB Network. Obviously, I have a day off after opening day, just in case there's a rain out. And then our home opener is against Chicago, or against the White Sox at home. That will be our home opener, which will be the next episode of the series. So this episode's open today. Next episode will be the home opener against the White Sox. So yeah, same lineups and all that good stuff as last year, obviously. So yeah, let's get into it. Opening day 2022. Yeah, we also have 44 men on our 40-man roster. I kind of got to fix that. Okay, so hold on. Put everything on hold. We can't have 44 men on a 40-man roster. Can't have 44 men on a 40-man roster. So I gotta fix that. I'll just can I just remove him, or do I have to like? Oh darn it! I have maximum number of players on waivers. It doesn't for assignment. Darn it. Well, this guy I think I can get rid of. No, I can't because yeah, too many dies on waivers. Which I do have a lot of dies because the CPU decides just to call all these dies up, despite I don't want them all called up. And I have about 15 dies on waivers, but it's because the CPU just calls them up, and then I send them back down. But if they don't have a minor league option, then I have to put them through waivers. So it's really the CPU's fault. The CPU just doesn't know how to. I mean, I don't want these guys in the majors, and they just bring them up. I mean, I don't like that at all. But yeah, we just kind of gotta. I almost simulated the game. We just gotta do that, I guess. Alright, now we have 14. Can I just please get into this game? Alright, third time the charm. Both controllers per usual. The Royals last year went 86 and 76, didn't make the playoffs. We went 105 and 57, made the playoffs, won the AL Central, and won the World Series. All 3 years we had 100 plus wins. All 3 years we won the AL Central, and all 3 years we won the World Series. So. So road and home. Hopefully nothing got changed dramatically. Better not have, but who knows what this MLB The Show AI. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. That's where we're going to be playing. Obviously, holds 37,903. Opened back in 1973. The stadium is what, like 50 years old. I didn't realize how old it is, but opened back in 73. MLB Network presentation, cloud cover, clear skies, and quick counts will be on. But yeah, I'm just making sure that that's the wrong. They're told a 94 overall. I'm just making sure they did. Okay. I do have, I think this guy is new. I think I got him via trade from the Phillies in the off season, just because. It looks like nothing happened in my pitching rotation. So yeah, lefty versus righty, 99 versus 94. Cole's a 94. And this team, yeah. Lineup would be Luke, Jack Thornton, Matthew, Babe Ruth Jr., Vinny J, Star Forcer, Mr. Casey, Audie Pullman, and then rounded out at number 9 is Nate Biter. And this team has Michael Conforto, Anthony Rendon, Justin Smoke, Salvador Perez, Jorge Bonifacio, Mondesi, and yeah. And they also have Whit Merrifield and some other players as well. Let's get into the game. Opening day 2022 right now. As the Twins are trying to, in this case, four-peat. They've won 3 straight World Series, trying to four-peat here in 2022. And this is game number 1 of 162 here in the regular season. Game 1 of 162. Here we go. We are here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri for opening day 2022 here on MLB Network. And this game features the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Hi then everybody, Vinny J here behind the camera, obviously, as welcome to this opening day broadcast here on MLB Network. As it's a brand new season. This is last year's range for the Royals, as they were ERA 4.51, 56 saves, 533 watts, and I think like 100 something strikeouts. Well, I think it was more than 100 strikeouts. But either way, The Royals did not make the playoffs last year, finished above 500, but did not make the playoffs. And the Twins have won three straight World Series. Lineups and first pitch coming up next here on opening day. Probably the thumbnail right there. Opening day 2022, Derek Cole's on the mound for opening day 2022, or Derek Cole's on the mound for opening day 2022 for the Royals. 7-15 record with a 4 ERA last year and a 1.36 WHIP. Not sure if he was on the Royals last year or not. Not sure, but that's not Derek Cole numbers that we're used to. As Luke is deleted off. Here in this game as we're on your way here in the 2022 MLB season. 2-1 pitch. Foul ball, as that, well, technically it wasn't the first pitch of the game. It's quick counts. 2-2 count now as it's a 59 degrees out here in Kansas City. I believe you said 59. Yeah, capacity is 97%, 36,853, so almost a sellout, which might end up being a sellout at the end of the game. So weather is 59 degrees and clear. What do you expect, though? That's about what it would be for a day game in late March in Kansas City. In the Midwest, 59 degrees and clear, wind 3 miles per hour, blowing in from center field. So keep that in mind. It said, yeah, 3 miles per hour blowing in from center field. I thought that's a 10, but it's a 3. 2-2. That's a fly ball. That was crushed on the first at-bat of the season. Luke, can he send it out of here? No, he can't, as it's caught on the warning track, basically at the wall by the center fielder. And here's the Twins starting lineup. And here's a Minnesota Twins starting lineup here on opening day. Luke, Jack Thornton, Matthew, Babe Ruth Jr., Vinny J, Star Forcer, Mr. Casey, Andy Pullman, and Snake Biter. Last season, 925 RBIs for this team, which won the World Series last year. And in the regular season, they had 925 RBIs, and that led the American League. And like I said, the Twins won the World Series last year, and they also won the World Series the last 2 years, or 2 years before that. So they're going for a four-peat this year. 2-1. And that's a ground ball. As the last clip ended right basically when the first baseman dove for it. He dove to his left, knocked it down, Ball rolled in the foul territory, threw to the pitcher covering, but not in time because the runner had 96 speed. 1-1 now, runner at first, one out. This is Matthew. Matthew's up, runner's going, throw to second by Perez is not in time. As Matthew steals the base, as Luke flies out to the wall, Matthew singles as an infield single and then steals second base. And that was a ball as well. 2-1 pitch, runner at second, one out for Minnesota. And it's a ground ball, it's fair, and it's fair over the base. And he'll step on first base himself, 2 down, as that was right over the base, 2 down. Runner at third, though, as the runner does get over to third. Babe Ruth Jr. had 46 home runs last year, 313 average, and I think it said like 30 stolen bases or something like that. Runner at third, 2 outs. Twins trying to strike first. Here in the stand, ground ball, jammed them a little. Mondesi will throw out Babe Ruth Jr. And the Twins do not score here in the first inning of the game and the first inning of the season. 1 hit and 1 left for Minnesota. Kansas City coming to bat, no score here on opening day. Babe Ruth is on the mound for the Twins here on opening day. 22-7 last season and 33 starts for the Twins. 2.28 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. That is some good numbers. Anyway, the 1-1 pitch to Merrifield. Merrifield lines one. Perfect past the glove of Jack Thornton. Leadoff single for Merrifield, and he has the first hit of the year for Kansas City. And the first hit of the year for the Twins belongs to Matthew. First hit of the season for the Royals belongs to Merrifield. Forcing fastball, palm ball, and a slurve for Ruth. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the slurve. First strikeout of the game and of the season for Babe Ruth, as there's one down. Now it's Rendon. Not sure if he was in the Royals last year or if this is first year in a Royals uniform. I'm not sure. 2-1, line drive, and that ball will be caught by Matthew. 2 down, as it was sinking fast, but Matthew was able to get to it. 2 down. Here's the Royals starting lineup here on opening day. As it's Whit Merrifield, Fernando Valera, Anthony Rendon, Michael Conforto, Justin Smote, Salvador Perez, Jorge Bonifacio, Mondesi, and then Tevin Gutierrez. 1,457 hits last season for the Royals. Not sure what that ranked though in the AL. It did say that. It did say what that ranked in the AL, but I didn't get to see it before. I didn't see that ranked. I didn't know. They did have 1,457 hits last season. The Royals did, and it did say what that ranked in the AL, but I didn't see it until it was there. I just didn't see it until it was I didn't get to see it because it went away too quick. 1-2. That's a foul ball. I mean, 1,400 hits, give or take. I mean, I don't think that's first in the AL, but that might be maybe top 10. 1-2. That's a ground ball off of Ruth, and it rolls over by the foul line, and that'll be a base hit. As hopefully Ruth is okay, as hopefully he's not injured. That would be unfortunate. I mean, in the first inning of the season. Looks like he's okay though. 2 on, 2 out now for who is this? For Smote. 2 on, 2 out for Justin Smote. Trying to smote the baseball. That's a fair ball, or it will be fair. Run will score. There's a little bit of just a little fly ball down the line, and a little pop up down the line. Fell in no man's land inside the right field foul line. It's an RBI single for Smote, and he drives in the first Royals run of the season. Runner at first got over to third. And now the runner at first here will be in motion. Full count, 2 outs. Runners at the corners for Perez. And Perez will foul one. Smote. I mean, he didn't smoke the baseball, but he hit it enough. Or hit it.
Tomorrow at Foundation.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
But yeah, Justin Smote didn't smote the baseball, but he hit it in no man's land for an RBI single. Here's Perez, popped it up. Lute, I don't think has to move, or if he has to move, it's barely, and he'll make the catch. But the Royals strike first on an RBI single by Justin Smote. We head to the second, 1-0 Kansas City. As you can see right there on the plaque, right when it went to commercial, or right when it ended, it did say 2015 World Champions. The Royals did win the World Series back in 2015. They beat the Mets in 5 games, I believe. 1-1 pitch to Vinny J. That's a ground ball to his opposing first baseman. 3 unassisted ground ball, 1 down. And here is the Royals defense here on opening day. And it's Jorge Bonifacio, Fernando Valera, and Michael Conforto in the outfield. Justin Smote, Whit Merrifield, Mondesi, and Anthony Rendon in the infield, and Salvador Perez behind the plate. And Derek Cole on the mound, obviously. Here we go. Second inning, no runners on, 1 out. Top 2, 1-0 Royals. Ground ball past Rendon as he was in a little bit on the ground. He was in on the ground. Rendon was a little bit attempting the bunt, or playing there because he might bunt. But the ball got smoked right by him. And now it's Mr. Casey, the catcher for Minnesota. Runner goes again, and it's hit and run. Rendon will field it and throw out the batter easily. Runner gets over to second, though, with the hit and run. Runner at 7, 2 outs now for Andy Pullman, who was, I mean, he's not really a big power hitter like some of the other players on this team, but he's still a good average hitter. 1-2. And that's a ground ball. That's Merrifield in and over. And the Twins strand a runner at center base. Middle of 2. 1-0 Royals. Here we go. Bottom 2. Twins have stranded a runner at third in the first inning, and now a runner at second in the second inning. Bottom 2. Here is Bonifacio. And that's a liner. What a snag by Vinny J. quick reactions over there at first base. Quick reflexes there at first base. 1 down. There's the Twins defense. Star Forcer, Snake Biter, and Matthew in the outfield. Vinny J, Lute, Jack Thornton, and Andy Pullman in the infield. And Mr. Casey behind the plate. And Babe Ruth is obviously on the mound. And obviously our DH is Babe Ruth Jr. And then their DH is, I'm not sure who their DH is. Our DH is Babe Ruth Jr. That's a ground ball. You gotta hurry. The runner is 92 speed, and he died by a step. And I believe that was Mondesi who grounded out. One shortstop grounds out to the other. And here's Kevin Gutierrez, who is their DH, as I just said. 1-1. No tapper. It's fair. Vinny J taking himself and then over. 1-2-3 to the Royals. Way to the third. 1-0 Royals. Twins have 2 hits. Royals have 3. All 3 were singles, and all 3 were in the first inning, including a Justin Smoke RBI single. Was a little bit of a pop-up in shallow right field, but it was in no man's land, and it resulted in an RBI single. Here we go. Top 3. Here's Snake Biter. Top of the order to follow. That's a ground ball. Merrifield. Throw to first. 1 down, and now it's the top of the order. Now Luke is up. He flew out to the center field wall in the first inning, and he missed a home run by maybe 5 feet as he flew out to the center fielder in deep right center field. Line drive. This one will get in front of Conforto. Base hit. First hit of the year for Luke. Third hit of the game and the season for Minnesota. And their 9-game hitting streak for Luke, which in real life hitting streaks don't go from year to year, but in this game they do. So he has a 9-game hitting streak. Here we go. He also has a speed threat. There he goes again. Hit and run to perfection. And going to third is Luke, and he is in there. Throw was offline. He would have been safe anyways. Hit and run to perfection. Runners to the corners, 1 out now for Matthew. Chance to tie the game. A little gribble off of Cole. One will score. It's a foot race to the base. Matthew wins it. Tie game. RBI single. As a score's decision is a single and an RBI. So it's an RBI infield single for Matthew as that hit Cole. Got him on a drive lead, which is his left lead. The lead he brings up and then uses the pitch, or the one that he steps, or the one that he pitches with, the one he lifts his lead up and then pitches towards the plate. That's his left lead. Or when a righty's drive lead is his left lead, which in this case Cole's a righty. So it hit him in his left lead, but it looks like he's okay. It's a 1-1 game though. 2 on, 1 out. Ground ball. This could be 2. No, it won't be 2. As it dumped by Rendon, and the bases are loaded. As the runner will stay put at third. Bases loaded, 1 out. Now it's Babe Ruth Jr. and now it's a 3-1 hitters count to Vinny J. You can't walk him here if you're Cole, because the bases are loaded. 3-1. And it's a line drive. That won't get down. It's fair. That could clear him. 2 runs have scored. A third run's coming around. And he is safe. A 3-run double. And it's 4-1. Vinny J comes through. In his second at-bat of the season, he comes through. 3-run double. Down the line and right. And it's 4-1 Minnesota, as this crowd is suddenly silent here at Kauffman Stadium. Somewhat. I mean, I hear some cheers still, but a 3-run double silences the crowd here in Kansas City. Down the line and right, just inside the right field foul line. And it's 4-1 Minnesota. They've scored 4 runs in the inning, and they're threatening for more. Ground ball, Rendon, 2 down, runner stays put at second. But Vinny J with a bid below. 3-run double, and it's 4-1. And here's Mr. Casey, 0 for 1 in the game. And that's a ground ball, Rendon again. Routine, hopefully, and it is. Twins do get 4 runs though in the inning. RBI single by Matthew, or RBI infield single by Matthew, and then a 3-run double by Vinny J. Middle of 3. It's 4-1 Minnesota. And in the bottom 3, it's 4-1 Minnesota as they scored 4 runs in the top of the third. And now it's the bottom of the third. Twins up by 3. popped up right center field. Calling for it is Snakebiter, and he'll make the catch in right center field, 1 down. Only the bottom of the third. If you're the Royals, yes, you're down by 3, but there's still 6 innings to go here. Varella's now up. Line drive. Snakebiter moves to his right, and he makes the catch, 2 down quickly in the third. As the Royals had 3 hits in the first inning and a run. Since then, they have no hits and no base runners. So it's what, 6 up, 6 down, I believe, for Ruth. And make that 7 up, 7 down, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 inning again for Ruth. And the 3, 4-1 Minnesota. 4th inning now. 4-1 Minnesota. They scored 4 in the third, trying to extend their lead. As Andy Pullman is up, I believe he was the only batter that did not bat in the last inning. I believe 8 men came to the plate. Ground ball is 4 scored. And then you have the 3 outs, and then 1 was left on base, so that's 8. So 8 men came to the play in the last inning. Here's Luke. Excuse me, it's Snakebiter, not Luke. Then it's Snakebiter's up, and then it's Luke after this. Pardon me. As 51st pitch to him from Cole through a 3 1/3. He's in line for the loss right now. He's giving it 4 runs, all earned. 1-2. Ground ball, another base hit. Almost at the second base umpire, but does not. Leadoff or 1 out single for Biter. Here comes Luke, trying to do some more damage. He did have a single in the third. 1-1. That's a foul tip held on by the catcher, 1-2. So it's not an out because it didn't go above the batter's head and it wasn't a strike 3. It's 1-2 now to Luke. And that's a fly ball right field. And that ball is caught by Conforto, 2 down. Two down now. Here's Jack Thornton, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a run scored. 1-1. Ground ball. That's another base hit. And the runner's gonna stop as he went about halfway on the line. He would have been safe. Stopping at second was a runner at first. 2 on, 2 out now as the Twins are threatening for more. And here is Matthew had that RBI infield single in his last at bat. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to. Bullpen. There's something wrong about Jorge Lopez in the Royals bullpen in the 4th inning. And here comes the pitching coach. 60th pitch. The next pitch will be the 60th pitch of the game for Cole, who's thrown 40 strikes, but he's giving up 4 runs. 2-2 pitch now. And that's a line drive, but right to Conforto, in and over. And the Twins strain a pair of runners. Then to a 4. It's still 4-1 Twins. Here we go, Royals. Up to bat, bottom 4s, down 4-1. Have 3 hits all in the first inning where they scored their only run. Ground ball out was unlucky against a shift. Sitting there was the third baseman Pullman in the shortstop position. The shift was on, 1 down. Attended a 5-3 ground out, although it looked like a 6-3 ground out. It's a 5-3 ground out. 2 down now, or excuse me, 1 down for Smoke, who had the RBI single on his last at bat. That's a ground ball. He only has 3 speed, but it's botched by Luke, and that's probably going to be an error. And that is an error. As that should have been a routine play, especially with Smoke, who was chugging down the line, lumbering down the line, really, with 3 speed. Now Perez, who probably has like 3 speed as well, is up. Perez didn't die out on his last at-bat, but Smoke had a little bit of a bloop single, RBI single on his last at-bat. Now it's Perez. 1-1. And that's a ground ball past Pullman. Just snuck by the third baseman's glove. Perez is on now, and it's 2 on, 1 out now for Kansas City, and he has 16 speed. And now this is Bonifacio. He's a tying run in this ball game. That's a ground ball. That could be 2, 4, 6, 3, double play, in and over. As the threat is over. And there's the Royals mascot, sad on the Royals dugout, on the top of the Royals dugout. If he's doing the WWE, like, 1, 2, 3, WWE 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, like, sign or action. I didn't have a word to put that with, but once WWE, like 1, 2, 3, action, when they do that, and then if you get to 3, well, then you win. or lose. Depends if you're the one being like pinned down, and well, 1, 2, 3 you lose. If you're the one being pinned down, 1, 2, 3 you lose. If you're pinning down someone else, 1, 2, 3 you win. But that's what the Royals mascot was doing on top of the Royals dugout. Top 5, 4-1 Twins, line drive over Rendon, and that's botched by the left fielder, but runner will stay put. But that's, I believe, the 10th hit of the game for Minnesota in the 5th inning. At 10 hits, here's Vinny J, 1 for 2 with a 3-run double, and Lopez is not coming to this game. He's 6'3", 195, 29 years old. First appearance of the year and the first game of the year. As runner at first base is responsible for Cole, who only went 4 innings. 4 runs, 4 earned runs, and the runner at first base is responsible of Cole. Little tapper, that could be a base hit, especially with the runner having 80 speed, and that's a swinging bunt. Base hit. 2 on, nobody out now for Minnesota, looking to blow this game wide open, and they might be doing that base hit. Runners coming around, especially with nobody out. Even with nobody out, they're sending him, and it's a base, and he's safe at the plate. It's a base hit, anyways. Even with nobody out, they were sending him. It's because it was kind of in left center field. That's where the ball went. So even with nobody out, they sent him, and it all paid off. And the batter got to second base, and the runner at first got over to third. It's 5-1, and then runners at second and third, and nobody out. And the infield's in. Second and third, nobody out. Top 5, they're down 5-1, and that's a ground ball. What a stop by Mondesi. Runners stay put, bases loaded. As the runners at second and third stayed put, despite the ball going off the glove of Mondesi, runner at third easily scored. But he doesn't. Neither runner moves, but the batter safe, bases loaded, nobody out, and this is getting ugly if you're Kansas City. As the infield's now halfway in, forcing any bases in order here. They might be trying to cut the runner down at the plate. Ground ball, they're going to do that. And he is out at the plate, and he's out, or safe at first base. As that was close at first base. As it's going to be a 4-3 fielder's choice, as the runners, or as the second baseman had to throw the ball like off balance. Off balance, the home plate didn't throw it away, and he got the runner coming home, but then the batter was safe at first by half a step, so it's a 4-3 fielder's choice officially. Here's Snake Biter, runner base loaded still, but with 1 out. And the infield is outfield straight up and deep, infield straight up and halfway. Base loaded, 1 out, double plays in order, and the force out any bases in order, but they might try to cut down the runner at the plate again, or turn 2. Ground ball, base hit! And 1 run will score. Second run's coming around, and he will score. The batter gets a second again as the throw's not cut off, and it's 7-1. 2-run single. Second and third, 1 out as the runners at second and third score. Runner at first out over to third. Batter gets a second, and it's second and third and 1 out for Luke. And this is a disaster. And here comes Jade Newberry. Jake Newberry, 1-1. Line drive, base hit. That could score 2 more. And 1 has scored. A second run's coming around. He's safe. It's 9-1. As they're killing the Royals pitching. As they're just blowing the ever-living goodies out of the Royals and of the baseball. It's 9-1. And we're only in the 5th inning. Ground ball, this should be 2 to end the inning finally. Second 1, first double play. Good hit by Smote, but it's 9-1. Halfway home here on opening day. It's now 9-1 Minnesota. We're back here in Kansas City. Let's go on the field and check in with Tony Watney. Thank you, ready for that report. I mean, it's 9-1 Minnesota. Here's Mondesi, bottom 5 only, popped up foul. I mean, it's almost impossible to come back here, but I mean, it's 9-1. They were up 1-0, the Royals were, but since then they've given up 9 unanswered runs. That was hit hard, but right to Luke, 1 down, as this is a massacre, opening day massacre here in Kansas City. 1 down. Here's the DH, Gutierrez. Fly ball on the line. It's hit well. Won't be gone, but it will be caught. It will. Everything's going wrong for the Royals, and everything's going right for Minnesota, or for the Twins. 2 down as it's caught on the warning track by Matthew. And here's Merrifield. Sindelin scored in his first at-bat, and then got out in his second at-bat. Royals scored 1 in the first, and then Cincinnati Twins have scored 9 unanswered. Line drive, base hit for Merrifield. Second hit of the game for Merrifield. Second hit of the game for Merrifield. 5th for the Royals. But the Twins have 15 hits. Royals have 5. Here we go. Varela. Ground ball. Shortstop will go to second for the force, and an over. And the 5. 9-1 Minnesota. I mean, we're back here in Minnesota, or excuse me, back here in Kansas City. Let's go to the field again and check in with Tony Watney. Yeah, I mean, the Twins manager, which I believe is the one on the left there, should be ecstatic because his team's up 9-1. Here we go. They come out to play here on opening day. Andy Whitey for that report. Top sits, 9-1 Minnesota. Ground ball, taken in by Smoke, 1 down. But at this point, I mean, if you're the Royals, you need to pull off like the best comeback, greatest comeback in MLB history to tie or win this game. Ground ball, that could be a base hit. It's fielded by the shortstop, and he is out. What a play, Mondesi, 2 down. And the Twins might challenge us to hold the phone. As everything's going right for the Twins and everything's going wrong for the Royals. He might have been safe, I'm not sure. But at this point, it might be a moot point. He's out. He's out. And I'm not challenging. The Twins will not challenge. If he was safe, I would have challenged, but he was not. 2 down. Or was that 2 down or 1 down? 2 down. Yeah, 1-2 pitch to the batter, but at this point, the Twins are well in the driver's seat. Little jam shot, right field. Conforto's there, in and over. Middle sits, 9-1 Minnesota. Here we go. Bottom sits, here on opening at 9-1 Minnesota. Here's Rendon. Rendon will fly 1. Shallow right field. Matthews there. 1 down. It's a massacre here on opening day. Bottom sets 1 out. Bottom sets 1 out. Here's Conforto. Ground ball, punched it through the shift. Sits it of the game for Kansas City, but at this point I think it's too little, too late. Unless they didn't, even if they did 4 or 5, unless they did like 4 or 5 runs in the inning, I don't think there's any chance. And that's gonna be a fielder's choice, as the last flip ended right when I hit the ball. That could have been a double play, but then I kind of realized when I hit the triangle to throw the ball to second base, started the camera, and then didn't throw to first base. So it was a fielder's choice. That could have easily been a double play, but runner at first, 2 outs now for Perez. Ground ball, and that's going to be a base hit. 2 on, 2 out now for Kansas City. That should have been a double play, but I didn't throw it to first after I started the camera. I kind of forgot about that. 2 on, 2 out now for, I believe that's Bonifacio, it is. Ground ball, and that miscue will not come back to haunt the Twins, in and over. We have the 7th, 9-1 Minnesota. Here we go, officially in the back third of the game. Same pitcher's in, which is what, Newberry, I believe. Line drive, base hit. Leading off single for Minnesota, their 16th hit of the game. They have 16 hits, the Twins do. Royals have 7. Twins have 9 runs. Royals have 1. Mr. Casey. Ground ball, this could be 2. Sits, 4, 3, double play. Got him by an eyelash at first base, 2 down. Now it's Andy Pullman, who's 0 for 3 in the game, hasn't joined the hit parade yet. And at the ground ball, he still won't. He's 0 for 4 now. 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. 9-1 Twins here on opening day. Anyway, the bottom 7, Ruth is still in it. At this point, he's probably going to go the entire way unless he gets out of energy. Ground ball, and that hit the second base, or hit second base, and that was insane play. What a play, as that just shows how the Royals' day has gone. What a play by Jack Thornton. Distance cover is 39 feet, as that ball went off the base, arm strength 86 miles per hour. Distance covered 39 feet, but my goodness, everything's going wrong for the Royals. Everything's going right for the Twins. As that ball was going to be a base hit, instead it hit the base, popped up in the air right to Jack Thornton, who was right there, and he threw out the batter. As the ball hit second base, popped right to Jack Thornton, and he threw out the batter by a step or two. 1-1. Ground ball, Vinny J backhands it, throws the Ruth, 2 down. But yeah, that play where the ball at second base, that just shows how the day's gone for Kansas City. They scored the first run of the game in the first inning, but since then the Twins have scored 9 unanswered. Ground ball, Luke. We headed the 8th. Good pitch by Vinny J. We headed the 8th. 9-1 Twins. Yeah, that was a ball hit second base, hit second base, popped right to Jack Thornton and threw out the batter. But everything's going right for Minnesota. Everything's going wrong for Kansas City. Top 8, 9-1 Twins. Line drive, Conforto will make the catch. 1 down. Newberry's still in this game. At this point, you don't want to burn any of your bullpen for no reason. I mean, this game is well out of reach. Here's Luke, who's 2 for 4 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored, I believe. Energy of the pitcher's in the yellow. You might see a new batter or new pitcher in the 9th inning. Ground ball, as a foot race to the base. Luke loses it. The pitcher wins it. 2 down. And now Thornton, 3 for 4 with 3 singles and a run scored. So he's been, what, 750, right? On the season. Full count, he is batting 750 on the season. Ground ball base hit, make that like, what, 800, I think. He's now 4 for 5. 1 on, 2 out. It's a hit parade right now. They might hit 20 hits. Newberry's getting tired here. Matthews up. Ground ball. Almost hit the runner. And a spin around and throw is offline. And it's over by the ball boy. And now Perez. I thought Perez threw that ball away because that ball was when Perez threw it to third. I thought that ball was going to go in left field. How high it was, but Merrifield, well, E4 on Merrifield. That ball was thrown over the head of Smoke, and then the ball rolled over by the ball boy, by the first base dugout, and by the on dead circle. The ball was just sitting next to the ball boy, and the ball boy. The ball was sitting by the ball boy and the ball boy's chair. Perez got over and backed it up, but the runners move up the second and third. 2 outs now for Babe Ruth Jr. Ground ball, Mondesi will botch it. Everything's going wrong for Kansas City. Run will score, and it's 10-1. And that's going to be, I assume, an E6. It is. I don't think that's going to be an RBI because there was 2 outs. So an E4, now an E6, and everything is literally going wrong for Kansas City. That shouldn't have ended the inning. Instead, it continues. Runner at first will be in motion here with the full count pitch. Line drive. What a snag by Merrifield. He redeems himself for the error 2 plays ago, or two batters ago, but it's too little too late. It's now 10-1 Minnesota, middle of 8. The Twins down a run on that error by Mondesi. Energy of Ruth is in the yellow, bottom 8. It's 10-1 Twins. It was 1-0 Royals in the first inning, and since that 1-0 Royals lead in the first inning, the Twins have scored 10 unanswered runs. And they've come out to play here in 2022. Obviously, there's still 2 more games left in the series. Both teams did off day tomorrow, and then as today is Thursday in this game, tomorrow, which is Friday, both teams are off. And then Saturday and Sunday, both these teams play against each other here in Kansas City. So still 2 more games here in this series, and then the Twins, like I said, then after the series, head home for the first time this season to play the White Sox in their home opener. And then the Twins head home for the first time this season, and they play the White Sox in their home opener, which is in like 4 days in the stadium. Line drive, that will get down in front of Forcer. 2 on, 2 out, or 2 on, 1 out for Kansas City. Trying to get a few runs here, maybe just for pride, because it's 10-1. I mean, they got 1 in the first, but since then they got nothing. And they're starting to warm up Jose Arena, who's our long relief pitcher in the Twin bullpen. As it's a 3-away hitters count. Smoke, who had their RBI single earlier, and that is in their full count. Smoke had the RBI signal back in the first. Here we go. They're trying to do something here. Can they get something going here? Full count, double steal. So no double play. Runners will advance. Second and third, 2 outs now for Kansas City. That was an interesting move. Trying to stay out of double play. I did that. And now it's Perez. Second and third, 2 outs now. Here we go. Can he come through? Fly ball right center field. Can Matthew get there? Matthew can get there over the shoulder, and the Royals do not score. We headed the ninth here on this open day. We headed the ninth here on this open day massacre. 10-1 Twins. Here we go. Energy of the pitcher still in the yellow, but I mean he's staying out there. I mean it's 10-1 game. Fly ball, left field. 1 down. And now it's Mr. Casey. Sindel and Storton the same. They are Ardena Brennan. Trevor Oates. 6'3", 225, 29 years old. Energy of the previous pitcher was in the red, so that's why I took him out and brought in this guy. 3-away hitters count. Ground ball, Rendon. Throws it over to Smoke, and we got 2 down. As Babe Ruth is Twin starting pitcher. His energy's in the yellow, but I'm probably not letting him go the rest of the way, because he's 3 outs away from a complete game in the first start of the season, or in his first start of the season. Another base hit, and the massacre just continues here in Kansas City. I mean, this is just absolute domination by the 3-time defending World Series champions. As this team has won the last 3 World Series, and while they made it show, or they showed, really, they made it show, but they showed in this game, because they're up 10-1, that they've won the last 3 World Series. It's now 10-1. Ground ball, and that's a diving play by the second baseman, but to no avail. And going to second is the batter, and going to third is the runner at first. It's a double, and the massacre just absolutely continues. Yeah, it's 10-1, and this team has won the last 3 World Series, and they've shown here today they've won the last 3. And they've shown today they've won the last 3 World Series because they're up 10-1, and possibly more if they score here. 3-away hitters count, and that is in their full count. It's Luke looking just for some more some more hits, or another hit, and possibly another RBI or 2. And that's a fly ball. That one's killed. It won't be caught. It's 12-1, and it goes into the bullpen for an automatic double. It's an automatic double, and automatic double and a 2-run double. And it's what do you know? It's now 12-1. Automatic double and a 2-run double. And the Twins have a dozen runs here on opening day. 12-1. And this is a massacre and a half. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2, but the Twins have a dozen runs here on opening day. Line drive, and it's over the second baseman's head. This could be a baker's dozen, and it is a baker's dozen. RBI signal for Luke, and the Twins have got a baker's dozen, and they're up by a dozen at 13-1. As they're up by a dozen, the Twins are, and they've scored a baker's dozen, which is 13, and the Twins are up by a dozen, which is 12, at 13-1. Twins are up 13-1 here on opening day. Ground ball, and the inning finally ends. Twins tapped on 3 more, but I don't think they'll need those 3 more runs anyways. It won't matter, I don't think. Middle of 9, 13-1 Twins. Anyway, the last call for Kansas City here in this opening day massacre. It's 13-1 Babe Ruth's energy is in the red, but his team's up by, or he and his team are up by a dozen runs. This will be a extra base hit. That'll stay in play. I believe it's the first extra base hit of the game for Kansas City, and it comes with nobody out in the ninth. The energy of Ruth is in the red, but his team's up by 13, or up 13-1, as his team has scored a baker's dozen runs, and they're up by a dozen runs at 13-1. As a ground ball, runner will advance to one down with a runner dead end over to third base, but that run is obviously pointless in a 13-1 game. Here's the DH. Runner at third and one out now. I mean, based on the seats, I would say most of these fans have left. I would have left, obviously, in a 13-1 game. Ground ball. Runner will score. It will be an RBI ground out for the Royals DH. And the Royals are only down by 11 now. It's now 13-2 with 2 outs in the ninth. So the Royals did obviously a pointless run in the ninth, and they're only down by 11 now. It's 13-2. And here's Merrifield, last chance for Kansas City in a 13-2 game. Ground ball, and what a play by Lute, but Merrifield is safe. So it's a 2-out infield signal for Merrifield, and this game continues. Here we go. Runner at first, 2 outs. Bottom 9. 13-2 Royal, or 13-2 Twins. As the Royals have scored 1 run in the ninth, and they're only down by 11. It's 13-2 Twins. Last out for Kansas City. Line drive, and this game will continue. Stopping at second is Merrifield. 2 on, 2 out now for Kansas City, as the Royals aren't giving up yet. But there's no unless there's such thing as a 9-run home run. They aren't tying this game, as Babe Ruth is now out of energy, but he only needs 1 more out. And that's a ground ball. This should do it here on opening day. Throw to first, in time, game over. And the opening day massacre comes to a close. Twins win it 13-2. I mean, this is just an insane game. Opening day massacre. There's Jack Thornton and Luke high-fiving, and Hudden behind second base. There's the outfielders coming together. Snake Biter, Matthew, and Star Forcer. And they're just doing some handshake or something. As the Twins, well, show that they have one of the best offenses, if not the best offense, in all of baseball by scoring 13 runs on 21 hits. As they scored 4 in the third, 5 in the fifth, or 4 in the third, 5 in the fifth, 1 in the eighth, and 3 in the ninth. And they win the game 13-2. The Royals scored 1 in the first, 1 in the ninth. As they had 12 hits, but only 2 runs, and then the Twins had 13 runs on 21 hits and 1 error, which is by Luke. And then the Royals had 2 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors, which were by Merrifield, a throwing error, and then a fielding error by Mondesi. But obviously at that point it didn't matter. Jack Thornton is a tops player of the game here on opening day, 5 for 6, with 5 singles, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. And then Lute, 3 for 6, a double, 2 singles, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Snake Fighter, 3 for 5 with a double, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Vinny J, 2 for 5 with a double, a single, and 3 RBIs, which were on that 3-run double, which gave the Twins a 4-1 lead in the third. As the Royals had a 1-0 lead in the first, but then the Twins scored 4 in the third, 5 in the fifth, 1 in the eighth, and 3 in the ninth, while the Royals scored 1 in the first and 1 in the ninth. But the Royals still lost by 11 runs. The Twins win by 11 runs, obviously, at 13-2. Babe Ruth gets the complete game, despite he was pitching on fumes at the end, but obviously it was a 9-run game or 11-run game, so it didn't matter. So a complete game for Babe Ruth in his first start of the season, in the Twins' first game of the season. And then so Babe Ruth gets the win, and he pitched 9 innings, and he gets the win. Garrett Cole gets the loss and only pitches 4 innings, 10 hits, and 5 earned runs. So he only gave up 5 runs, and the Royals bullpen gave up 8 runs. And then, like I said, Babe Ruth went all 9 innings, so he gave up 9 innings pitched, 12 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 earned runs, and no walks. And then Cole pitched 4 innings, 10 hits, no strikeouts, 5 earned runs, and no walks. My goodness. Justin Smoke drove in the Royals' first run. Merrifield, I believe, scored that first run for Kansas City, and then Bonifacio, I think he was the one that doubled and scored in the ninth, and then the Royals DH was the one that drove him in on an RBI groundout. But obviously, at that point, that was that was a pointless run because it was at that point a 12-run game. Ends up being an 11-run game. Twins win at 13-2 here on opening day 2022. And the next episode of the series in this game will be the Twins' home opener against the Chicago White Sox. Obviously at home at the Metrodome, because obviously it's our home opener, which is our home opener is our 4th game of the year. So between this episode and the next episode, there will be only 2 games between this episode and the next episode. But like I said, the next episode of the series will be the Twins' home opener against the White Sox, obviously at home at the Metrodome because it's our home opener. Hopefully that episode will be sooner than later in real life. Hopefully, as the Twins are trying to four-peat as World Series champions here in 2022. They did off to a great start here in 2022, trying to four-peat as World Series champs. And they did off to a good start here in great start really, here in 2022 with a convincing, as they did off to a great start here in 2022, an excellent start, or a really good start, as the Twins did off to a really good start, a really great start here in the 2022 season, as they're trying to four-peat as World Series champs. As the Twins start the 2022 season with a bang, as they beat the Royals 13-2 here on opening day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, Tom Red closing the board. If that's episode, If that's episode, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know what? I'm gonna see you in episode number 38, I believe, of this Minnesota Twins MLB The Show 20 Custom Franchise Series. See you in episode number 38. And eat a lot of bacon and go Twins.